right, artists. So this video is going to be about how to sew details into your stuffy. So I've got a couple things ready for us. The first of which is if you wanted to sew yarn in. So if you wanted to sew yarn, my astronaut, this is like that tube or whatever that would connect him to the spaceship or whatever. What I did was I made sure that there was a little knot at the end. This is going to get inserted between my two felt pieces. To make this knot, you want to make a loop and put it through the loop and pull it tight. Okay? Whenever we get a loop, we always want to put the end through and pull it tight. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to tuck this in between the fabric pieces. So the knot is not right on the edge. I don't want to sew into that knot. That would be really hard. Okay. Now I have my yarn, and you can see I've been doing my whip stitch this whole time. And I'm coming out from the bottom. So I'm going to go, I believe so, yeah. Sure enough, I'm coming out from the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in through that little piece of yarn there to really anchor that in. And my next stitch, I'm going to do really close to that. See that? So it stays, so it's really nice and tight, and that's not going to come out on me. Remember, I'm going in from the top. Again, it's one of those, you just got to have a little bit of patience. You'll get it. Don't worry. Okay. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is if you have a piece of felt that's going to come out of your stuffy. So for example, my little astronaut dude needed some boots. Can you see how my stitching changed? It changed from whip stitch to a straight or running stitch. Okay, I did a whip stitch in between, and I'm going to show you guys how I did that. Take my boot and I put it in between the fabrics. And I want to make sure, if you can see here, I've got a good amount of surface. So you want to cut out whatever you cut out, cut a little bit bigger so you have enough surface to sew in. There we go. Keep those nice and even. Now this stitch is different from the whip stitch. In the whip stitch, I'm always doing the same thing. I'm going in the front, out the back, in the front, out the back. And so one motion, in the front, out the back, or vice versa. This one, if my string is coming out the front, my first stitch is I'm going to stay in the front, and I'm going to go down through the boot and the back. Make sure that you're going through the back of your stuffy as well, or your squishy. And what you're going to see is that straight little line there. Now I'm going to go up. So the patterns are different, but it's still a pattern. And down. Oop. It's not all pieces of our stuffy need to, like, I don't even really need to look. I can just see, like, oh, that's a good stitch distance. I just kind of feel that with my needle. And then I go down. Now that I'm through the boot, I would continue with my whip stitch. Now now it's coming out the back, so I'm going to go in the front from now on. Now the thing I want you guys to understand that the reason why we use different stitches for different reasons. The whip stitch, because it's so nice and close to the edge, and they're nice and close to each other. When we go to stuff our squishy, it does not allow stuffing to come out. However, when we tend to do that straight or running stitch like this, if we didn't have this fabric here, it would be a problem where the stuffing tends to want to push out. So there's great reasoning behind the stitches that we use and why we use them. And now you know. Well, I almost just made that mistake there. All right, my friends, happy stitching.